those things you don't think about when you sign up to work bomb dogs. These dogs find bombs, and that's all it's about. So your point on every single patrol, from what people mainly think of when they hear the name Satan, they don't picture a big, docile, lovable, furry dog. Kind of crack a joke about if they just hurry up and train me and get out of the way and just let me go do what I need to do, I'll go ahead and win the war, we can all go home. And we all got a good laugh, and my buddy John was sitting up there by the lead instructor who was taking all the notes. He's like, man, I don't know what you did or what you said. He said, but they just wrote Satan next to your name. You could just tell from the beginning, it was like, okay, the big goofy dog, the big goofy guy, it's gonna work out. He found bombs as good or better than any other canine we had, because they train you to look for visual cues, but the dog's gonna find the odor long before you see any visual. I trusted Satan, that's the deal, they teach you to trust your dog. And you're not gonna walk out in front of everybody else when you see the pictures and hear the stories and walk through the hospital wards of the guys that got hit.
So Ryan and Satan saved each other. Satan saved thousands.
The question, did Satan ever save my life? Did he ever save someone else's life? The short answer is yes, absolutely he did. I had traumatic brain injuries and I ended up having a grand mal seizure, actually going out on a mission with Satan, another handler, and his dog. When I went down and I went out, he was right there.
And he felt like Satan was another soldier. And I can't leave him behind.
From the moment I woke up, that was my first thought, where's Satan? Where is he? When I first got back, I had a lot of head trauma, and there for a while I had to concentrate on my recovery, on getting better, and I kind of had to abandon looking for him, for a month here, a month there.
When Ryan came home from the war, he had to leave Satan behind, and it was almost like he left a piece of himself. He's always been a big jokester and really jovial, and he had lost it.
I could barely reintegrate back into society. And they tried to hold that against me when I went to pursue getting him. That was one of the things they tried to use, like, well, why wasn't it every day and every night? It was like, well, because whether you want to know it, some days and some nights I was chewing on a gun barrel. Dealing
with all the problems he had when he came home from Afghanistan, this kept popping up. Where's my dog? What's happened to my dog? And as part of his treatment, he would go to a psychiatrist there at the base, and the psychiatrist told him, goes, you really need to see the dog for closure.
My little sister created a Facebook page, Bring Satan Home Tango 383, and people had heard the story and were like, wow, what is this? News agencies started hearing about it from her Facebook page. And a buddy of mine who I'd met at the gym actually happened to be a Ted handler as well. And we just started talking because he saw my tattoo. I was like, nah. He's like, no, you don't understand. He said, there aren't a whole lot of black German Shepherds named Satan that used to be army dogs. I found your dog. And sure enough, it was him.
The dogs are part of these guys. Like, that's their battle buddy. That's their support system. There's just a bond.
I finally found where he really was.
The dogs are practically their children. They care for them 24/7. That's their only support, their only comfort when they're over there. And the dogs being basically ripped away from them, it just leaves a hole.
Around that time, I spoke at the 2016 National Animal Law Conference in New York City. I was invited by a couple of their board members who had heard our story. That's where I met the lawyer that helped me get Satan back, Marilyn Forbes.
When I heard Ryan's story, it absolutely made me feel this was an area where the law could help.
We actually had to file in court, and we actually set a national legal precedent. We were the first to ever file a custody case like that for an animal in this situation, which was cool because we kind of blazed a path to show other guys, hey, this is one of the possible routes.
I live in North Carolina. Satan happened to be with a family in North Carolina, so it really just seemed like the stars aligned, and this was a lawsuit that I could manage effectively.
So I called my dad and said, hey, I don't know what's going on. Marilyn said we're getting Satan back, but we got to drive to North Carolina to get him. He said, well, go home and take a nap. We'll leave tonight.
I drove down to get the dog. And I will tell you, I have never driven on the interstate more carefully. I kept checking the back of my car to make sure, in fact, Satan was still there and his beautiful black ears would poke up from the back seat, and it was terrific.
Once he saw the dog, I could see like a weight lifted off him.
And I walked up to him and said, hey, he took this big whiff in, and it was funny. He didn't jump on me, didn't say hi, nothing. He put his nose to the ground and he started running a pattern. No joke. Like we were going out to do the day I got hurt. So I started giving him commands like I used to, and he just pow, 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 nailed him. And I was like, yeah, we're good.
When Ryan got Satan back, it was almost like he began to heal. And eventually, over time, his sense of humor came back, and he started being the jokester he was, and just more happy. He was just whole again.
One of Ryan's diagnoses was PTSD. And he'd withdraw, come into a room, close all the lights off, and just be by himself. That hasn't happened since Satan's back, because now they've got each other.
So it was nice to have Satan around to kind of make things normal.
It seemed like Ryan was more the old Ryan, because we'd lost him.
Sansley was gonna take it from him.
The dogs outranked us by 1 rank. You don't feed that dog, you don't care for that dog, you neglect that dog, you abuse that dog, that's a senior non-commissioned officer. It's not a dog. Unfortunately, it's not the same, when they come back. Soldiers bond, soldiers serve together, soldiers lay down their lives willingly, without regard for anything else in their life, for one another. These dogs do all that.
They created this amazing bond between Satan and Ryan, and they were really brothers in arms out there, and they faced death. I fully believe that Satan knew that the missing piece of the puzzle of his life was back.
I've served under the command of some of the greatest of our generation. I've served and walked with some of the baddest men the world will never even know about. None of them come close to like the loyalty, dedication that Satan showed. And most handlers will tell you that about their dog. Satan doesn't go upstairs until I go upstairs. And it's just, we're always gonna have that bond.
Hey, pretty boy, what are you doing?
What I'm currently doing with military working dogs is my main focus is trying to get some legislation put in place to ensure their medical care like a soldier should have when they retire. A lot of these dogs have hip issues, shoulder issues, digestive issues, and there's so many noble people out there who would love to adopt these dogs that simply just can't because of the financial burden. I think dogs like Satan should be classified as soldiers even in retirement because of their service to this country. They've served, some people may not want to hear it, but they've done more for this country than a lot of people out there. And a lot of these people that are happy to have their sons and daughters back, moms and dads, brothers and sisters, they may not know all the details, but a lot of them are here because of those dogs. They deserve better. After everything that they've given to this country, the time, their lives, their health, the least we could do is give them the status of United States soldier, United States Marine, United States Airman, and the medical benefits that come with that.
Satan is a love bug. He's a lap dog if you let him be. He just wants to play and lounge around and give him a ball, and he's just happy as can be.
He's adjusted to civilian life, that's for sure. He is full civilian. Satan loves riding in the car. Satan loves going to the store. Satan loves meeting new people. The only thing he's ever done a poor job of is living up to his name. But he does have a lot of separation anxiety, and there's days he just can't turn it off, kind of like me. He's been there for me when I, needed a hug, when I didn't want to let anybody else know I was having a bad day. My life has gotten so much better since I've gotten Satan back. It's inspired and motivated me to do things. They told me when I first got in the hospital that I was going to need help with just basic life, and I wasn't, probably wasn't going to be able to handle a lot of stress and all this. Well, and people always ask me, well, where do you find this? Like, well, if you realize what I've been doing the last couple of years and what I went through trying to get my dog back and help other guys, which we've been able to help several other guys get their dogs back here lately, and that's a beautiful thing because I know what that feeling is. But having him back is what motivated me to do all that. It helped me find that back in myself again, that I can do some things that most people can't. Knowing the feelings that I have, that I've experienced having Satan back in my life, and the things that it's motivated me to do, I'd love to be able to have someone else experience that, because who knows what they're waiting to do or what they're capable of doing in life. They just need that spark, and this is a hell of a spark.